Welcome, everybody, to the latest NFL Draft Geek video series. I'm Brian Johannes, and today I'm going to talk to you why I feel the Indianapolis Colts have a great shot for the number one overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft.
Well, Colts fans, that was a video that I posted back in early June of this summer, and it was kind of in a series of looks at different teams that could be picking with the number one overall pick. I was wrong. Okay, the Colts proved me wrong. They had a great season. They made it to the second round of the playoffs. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a look back at why I thought they were going to have a chance, although I did say a pretty good chance, of having the number one overall pick, and why I was wrong to do so. So in that video, if you Colts fans, you might want to go watch it because it's probably get a good laugh at it. But a couple of the reasons why I thought the Colts would have a great shot at picking with that number one overall pick. The first one had to do with Andrew Luck's health. I like Andrew Luck. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks. There's some people out there that don't think he's as good. I'm not a big fan of that, but I was really concerned about his health. At the time that I did that video, he wasn't even throwing with a regular NFL ball. So that made me, leeryous. He'd been sitting out a whole year. He'd had issues before. And I just wasn't convinced that he was going to be coming back full strength. He did. He not only did he come back full strength, he looks kind of like the Andrew Luck of old. Maybe he doesn't have the arm talent that he once did, but he's still an elite quarterback in the NFL. And as some of the commenters posted, Andrew Luck alone can get him eight or nine wins. He did. So big Andrew Luck fan. Glad he came back healthy, but at the time didn't think he was going to. Moving on from that, I wasn't enamored with their running backs. They had, I liked Marlon Mack coming out of college. Nyheim Hines was a guy that I liked too. I just didn't think they had that guy to kind of run behind that offensive line. And I still think they could definitely add someone to that. But they got a combination of backs, throwing Jordan Wilkins in there too. And they, it's better than anticipated. So mentioning that offensive line, yeah, I thought it was going to be good, but it's even better than what it was. Quentin Nelson is a complete stud. I don't think anyone didn't see that coming. Braden Smith really excelled at right tackle, which was a little surprising because I thought he'd be inside at guard. And he ended up, excelling at guard despite not playing well there at Auburn for, a little bit of time before they moved him back inside to guard. So Luck healthy, offensive line rolling. Wide receiver, I don't know if I was harsh on T.Y. Hilton. I didn't think he was a true number one receiver in the NFL. I don't necessarily think that I still believe that, but I don't believe that he is. He's not one of the, he's good, don't get me wrong. Very good receiver. I just think they, once again, I thought, he couldn't carry the load. He's able to carry the load along with Eric Ebron, a couple other guys stepping up, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of him, coming in and doing that. But once again, story of the thing, I was wrong. I think the other big comment on me, why I think they had a chance to be number one overall pick. Wasn't a fan of their defense, and Mike Eberflus, their defensive coordinator, did a tremendous job this year. They really moved a lot of guys around. I like that they moved Marcus Hunt inside. Darius Leonard, I liked him coming out. I was a little hesitant of him making this impact right away just because I thought that jump from the 1AA level would be a little bit slower than it was. He ended up probably being, easily one of the best linebackers in the league this year, and fun to watch. So, he, him, like I said, I liked Malik Hooker, Kimiko Torre. Those guys really came together, and it was tremendous job on the Colts staff of this year retaining Mike Eberflus. There was talk that he could have left for a possible head coaching job. I think that's going to be great for the Colts going forward. Their team next year, has a shot, to go far, repeat this same success. So another thing was the division. I thought was going to be a lot tougher. Here's a Jacksonville team that was on the cusp of making the Super Bowl. I thought they'd be right in that same maybe not going that far, but good once again. They fell off. Tennessee made the playoffs last year. I thought they would contend once again. They kind of fell off. and the Colts would just be the fourth team in that shuffle. And then it ended up, those other teams fell off. Like I said, Luck hit his stride. Offensive line played well. Defense, the young players stepped up, and that's why they ended up with the number 2 team in their division. So, lot that I said that was wrong. I wasn't the only one that said this. There was other people. The Colts were kind of a popular pick to be a top 5 team in the 2019 NFL Draft. I was wrong. I don't know if those other people are going to put out a video or they're just going to ignore it. But with all the comments and that, I felt like, epic failure on my part. I need to at least come out. Looking at some of those comments, some of you were nice. Banana Bucket, you were pretty nice. You just, stated why you thought I was wrong. Nothing about that. For the culture, called him video trash. Yeah, it was. The Great Equalizer. Nobody on our defense scares me as much as your haircut. Had the same haircut since middle school, but that actually made me laugh. Dark Superman. I wasn't a fan of it. Pointing out that Luck had carried him to the playoffs 3 straight years. You're right, but once again, I didn't think he'd be back to full strength. Sam Tharp kind of said the same thing. He wanted to bet me $500. I'm really glad that I didn't bet you $500. Robbie Martin, once again, was pretty straightforward. Just talking about the Tennessee Titans falling back, so you're good with that. You were a big fan of Frank Wright before the season, so well on you. A couple of you told me that it didn't age well. The Blub and Josh Ratzberg, it didn't. The Blub also pointed out about the T.Y. Hilton, not being a number 1 receiver. Once again, I think he's a very good receiver. I still think they need to upgrade. That's pretty obvious. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me there. MF Pimp 83 called me Skip Bayless. That's rude. And then Ed Briggs. Nope, I'm not going to apologize to you. You made fun of me in a bad way. So Justin McCook, Colts defense will give them their young defense will give them 2 to 3 years. Yeah, it's going to. This is a team that's on the rise. Big fan of their defense. Darius Leonard, as I mentioned, I really like what they did. I can't wait to see what they do more in the draft. So that's going to go ahead and do it. I hope you guys accept my apology. As I said, I was wrong. I wasn't the only one, but I was off. The Colts made me look like an idiot here. So I just thought I'd share this. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you get a good laugh at me. And make sure you hit up NFLDraftGeek.com for all your draft needs. And, hopefully you have a good draft season and continue to build off your year.